Dear students, in the previous session of the same function, parametric function, I had given you the definition of a parametric function, how to find the derivative of y with respect to x, that is dy by dx. So, if in a function both the variables x and y are expressed in terms of a third variable, we call it as a parametric function, and the third variable is called as the parameter. So, directly we cannot get the value of dy by dx. So, what we do is we differentiate both x and y with respect to the parameter and then divide one by the other. So, this is the procedure we adopt to get dy by dx. So, in the previous session I had worked out some problems in which most of the problems can be expected for a 2-mark question. So, here directly they had asked you find dy by dx. So, we differentiate both x and y with respect to the parameter. It may be t or theta, whichever has been given in the problem. Then we find dy by dx, dividing dy by dt by dx by dt, assuming the denominator is not equal to 0. Now, in this session, I am going to work out some problems. Most of them have been asked in the earlier examination, and most of the problems are expected for a 3-mark question. So, here a particular answer is expected. They give you like this: if x equal to some function, y is some function, show that dy by dx equal to some answer would be given. So, then you have to make use of, suppose it is a trigonometric function, you have to make use of either the multiple angle formula, half angle formula, whatever formula is required there to arrive at the required result. Now, let me try the first problem. If x is equal to a into theta plus sin theta, and y is equal to a into 1 minus cos theta, then show that they are given a particular answer, show that dy by dx is equal to tan of theta by 2. See, if this particular answer is not expected, as we did in the earlier session problems, we could simply differentiate both x and y with respect to theta, divide one by the other, the problem gets solved. Whereas a particular answer is expected means you have to use the appropriate formula to arrive at the result here. But first step is, as usual, we differentiate both x and y with respect to theta, because theta is the parameter. So, here differentiate with respect to x, that is dx by d theta is equal to a into, remember we are differentiating with respect to theta. So, theta is a variable here, like when you differentiated x now we would write 1, similarly for theta we write 1 and sin theta becomes cos theta. Similarly y would be equal to a into 1 being a constant, it is 0. Minus, you know that the derivative of cos theta is minus sin theta. So, write another bracket minus of minus. So, this would be plus a times sin theta. Look here, so it is dy by d theta, here also dy by d theta. See, if no particular answer is expected, we could have divided this by this. So, answer would be a sin theta divided by 1 plus cos theta. Whereas here a particular answer is expected, that is a half angle. Here we are having full angle, it is a half angle. So, that gives us a hint that both of them should be written in terms of the half angles. Okay. Now, here itself you can write the formula for half angle, or else you can write here also dy by dx equal to dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta, dy by d theta dx by d theta. Now, write the actual values. It is a into sin theta divided by a into 1 plus cos theta. A into 1 plus cos theta. So, I have written the individual derivatives as they are. Cancel a. I told you if the answer is not expected like that, then we could have stopped at this stage. Whereas, it has to be expressed in terms of half angle. So, sin theta, when you use the formula, it is 2 times sin theta by 2 into cos theta by 2. See, in first year PUC, you have studied so many formulae. The compound angle formula, multiple angle formula, submultiple angle formula and the transformation formula. All of them are useful when you come across the trigonometric function while solving the problems. So, you have to be familiar with all the formulae. Now, for the numerator, this is the formula. For 1 plus cos theta, it is 2 times cos square theta by 2. 2 times cos square theta by 2. Now, 2 and 2 are cancelled. 1 cos theta by 2 is cancelled. What is remaining? It is sin of theta by 2 divided by cos of theta by 2. 1 sin theta by 2 is there in the numerator and one is cancelled, cos theta by 2, other is remaining. You know that sin theta by cos theta is tan theta, hence I can write it as tan of theta by 2. Now, this is the answer that is required. So, when a particular answer is expected, always try to get that result. If simply they ask you find dy by dx, we can stop at the stage, the first line itself. Because a particular answer in terms of half angle is expected, you have to write it like this. So, this is the procedure we adopt usually, and of course, this particular problem is a repeated problem in the earlier examination. If they simply ask you find dy by dx, no, it is generally a 2-mark question. So, when a particular answer is expected, it is a 3-mark question. Now, the next problem is having more of calculation. Understand it carefully. X is equal to a into cos theta plus theta sin theta y is equal to a into sin theta minus theta cos theta, sin theta minus theta into cos theta. So, here find dy by dx, that is the problem now. They are not asking a particular answer, can be asked, and this problem they have not asked. Here you have to be careful. Look here, we are having 2 terms here, there also, isn't it? This is a single term. Here theta into sin theta. Remember, we are theta is the parameter here. So, like x into sin x. If the function is given as x into sin x, what rule you apply? It is in the form of a product, you apply the product rule. So, that is the one thing many students they forget, they do not differentiate it properly. So, when you differentiate this, apply the product rule, same thing there also. So, if you apply the product rule, we get a very simple answer here. So, differentiate both x and y with respect to x, with respect to theta. Differentiate both x and y with respect to theta. So, a into cos theta, it is minus sin theta plus, I am not using any bracket because it is positive sign. If that were to be negative, I would have used another bracket. Apply the product rule here. First function in theta into sin theta has the derivative cos theta plus second function sin theta into derivative of theta is 1. Now you observe minus sin theta plus sin theta, they get cancelled. Ultimately what I am having, dx by d theta is equal to a into theta into cos theta. So, this is the derivative of x with respect to theta. Now, come to the other part. Here y is equal to a into sin theta minus theta cos theta. The same procedure, dy by d theta equal to a into sin theta has the derivative cos theta. See here I am having a minus sign, so use another bracket, because see when you apply the product rule, as you know, you will be getting two terms. Both of them should be multiplied by the minus sign. If you don't use the bracket, no, you may not multiply both the terms by minus sign. Therefore, always write inside the bracket. So theta into first function into derivative of cos theta is minus sin theta plus second function cos theta into derivative of theta is 1. Now close all the brackets. Now carefully remove. It is cos theta minus of minus plus theta into sin theta minus of plus minus, it is cos theta. So here also we are cancelling cos theta. So ultimately we are getting dy by d theta to be equal to a into theta into sin theta. See, though it was a little bit complicated function, we got the derivative of both x and y with respect to theta, a very simple function, comparatively simpler. So a into theta into cos theta and there a into theta into sin theta. So what we have to do? We have to get the value of dy by dx we want, isn't it? Write the value. Dy by dx is equal to dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. Write the values correctly in the proper position. It is a into theta into sin theta, that is dy by d theta. And what is dx by d theta? It is a into theta into cos theta. So cancelling a theta, sin theta by cos theta is equal to tan theta. So this is the derivative of y with respect to x. So here it is again a regularly asked question. It's a this one and the previous problem. Usually these two have been asked regularly in the earlier examination for a 3-mark question. So you have to differentiate carefully, especially this problem, because in the function we are having theta into sin theta and theta into cos theta. So where you have to apply the product rule and then you have to get the derivative properly calculated. So this is how we solve the problem. Now let me move on to next problem. Next problem again is a little bit lengthy problem and it is one of the standard problems. One of the standard problems which is a regular question, in the earlier examination. Here again a particular answer is expected. So you have to use the knowledge of the multiple angle formula or the half angle formula or the basic identities to arrive at the result. The problem is like this: if x is equal to a into cos t plus log of tan of t by 2, log of tan of t by 2, and y is equal to a into sin of t, show that dy by dx equal to tan of t. Again the derivative is a very simple function, a basic function tan of t. So this part is very easy. Here t is a parameter. Though trigonometric functions are given here, they have used a parameter to be t. It's okay, t or theta doesn't make any difference. So when you differentiate y with respect to t, it is a into cos of t. That is easier. So we need not worry at present about the derivative of this one. This has to be differentiated properly. Look here, it is the sine of t, whole angle, tan of t, whereas here we are having the half angle. And another thing is log of tan of t by 2. It is not a simple function, it is a composite function. Logarithmic function, tangent function, t by 2, it is an algebraic function. So, it has to be differentiated applying the chain rule 3 times. One log of something is 1 over that one. For tan of something, secant square of that one. For t by 2, it is 1 by 2. So, at 3 stages, you have to do the differentiation, then you have to use the multiple angle formula, then you have to use the identity, and finally you get dx by dt. Getting dy by dt is very easy. Now, first let us differentiate x with respect to t in this problem. Now, differentiate x with respect to t. Differentiate x with respect to t. Carefully you do that one. Dx by dt equal to a into cos of t has the derivative sin of t. No problem in that one. Log of tan of t by 2. First you write 1 by tan of t by 2. So, log function is over. Log of anything is 1 over that one. Now, come to the next part. Tan x has the derivative secant square x. So, in the place of x it is t by 2. Secant square t by 2. So, this is also over. For t by 2 it is 1 by 2. So, differentiation part is over. But this t by 2, the half angle should be eliminated and write in terms of the angle t. It is minus sine of t. Understand the procedure here. 1 divided by, I write the terms, you understand carefully. This number, to all the terms will be in the denominator, write t2 first. Then tan of t. You know the tan theta is sin theta by cos theta. So, let me write it as sin t by 2 by cos of t by 2. Sin t by 2 by cos of t by 2. Okay. Now, come to the second one, secant square. Again, secant and cos, they are reciprocal ratios. So, secant square theta t by 2 can be taken to the denominator, which becomes cos square t by 2. See, I am doing only one calculation in one step. First step, I differentiated using the chain rule. Now, I am taking all the terms to the denominator, applying the using the information. 2 into tan theta is sin theta by cos theta I have written. Secant square could be written as 1 by cos square t by 2. So, 1 cos t by 2 is cancelled. Now, this would be equal to a into minus sin of t and let me write the remaining terms properly. That is dx by dt equal to a into minus sin of t plus 1 divided by 2 times sin of t by 2 into cos of t by 2. See, in just the previous problem, the first problem what I did in this session, I had written sin theta as using the half angle formula 2 sin theta by 2 into cos theta by 2. I am using it in the reverse order. 2 sin t by 2 into cos t by 2 using the half angle formula could be written as sin t. That is a into minus sin t plus 1 by sin t. That is why I am telling you repeatedly, these formulae of trigonometry are very important. So, there I had written sin theta as 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. Here I am writing this as in terms of the angle sin, angle t. Now, you take the LCM because it is the difference of the functions, two fractions I am having, sin t being the LCM, minus sin t into sin t becomes minus sin square t plus 1. Look here, numerator is minus sin square t plus 1, or you can write it as 1 minus sin square t. 1 minus sin square t divided by sine of t, divided by sine of t. See, I am going to the basic thing, basic identity. 1 minus sine square theta is cos square theta. So, I can write it as a into cos square t divided by sine of t. Now, this is dx by dt. See here, the differentiation of x with respect to t is quite a lengthy one, because we have been given a complicated or a composite function. So, we got here the value of dx by dt as a cos square t divided by sin t. Now, let us come to y. Y is a into sin t. It is a simple function here. Therefore, when you differentiate, dy by dt is a into cos of t. Very simple, direct differentiation. Since we want the value of dy by dx here, let me write the formula. Dy by dt divided by dx by dt. Now, carefully you write. Dy by dt is a into cos t. What is dx by dt? There we are having a into cos square t by sin t. So, write this line a little lengthier, because it is this is a fraction which we are having in the denominator, and as you know that the denominator of the denominator goes to the numerator. So, using that fact, we will be rearranging the term. Observe, a and a can be cancelled. One cos of t is cancelled. This sin of t, being the denominator of the denominator, goes to the numerator, and one has been cancelled, the other one is remaining. So, sin t by cos t is equal to tan of t. So, this is the derivative of this one, and again this problem is also quite an expected problem here. Okay, it is many examination, this problem has been repeatedly asked. So, this is how we have to solve the problems. Now, let me move on to the next problem. Next problem is again not a simple function, and again here also a particular answer is expected, but both x and y are composite functions. So, you have to be careful about the derivation, differentiation part of this one. See, the problem is like this. If x is equal to square root of a to the power sin inverse of t, and y is equal to square root of a to the power cos inverse of t, then show that dy by dx is equal to minus y by x, minus y by x. See, when I started this topic, I told you in maximum number of problems, the dy by dx will be in terms of the parameter. It may be t or theta, whatever may be that one. And I told you that some problem, the derivative may be in terms of x and y also. See, in this problem, that is what they have asked you. Show that dy by dx equal to minus y by x. That means that the original parts of the function x and y, somehow after differentiation you have to use that one. Now, you observe here, both of them are composite functions here. Square root is one function, a to the power sin inverse t one function, the index sin inverse t is the third one. So, it is a combination of three functions. Same thing in the case of y also. Now, you can directly differentiate. What is the root of in x, root of x? The formula is 1 by 2 into root x. Then 1 by 2 into root of a to the power sin inverse t. And a to the power x formula, what does it say? A power x into log a to base. Then sin inverse t has to be differentiated with respect to t, whose derivative is 1 divided by root of 1 minus t square. So, that is directly you can do. Or if you want to avoid this radical sign, you can do square both sides. Square both sides. See, directly also you can differentiate, no problem, but you have to be careful after differentiation about the simplification part. Here, suppose you square both sides, that is x square would be equal to a to the power sin inverse of t, and here y square would be equal to a to the power cos inverse of t, a to the power cos inverse of t. Now, t is the parameter here, we differentiate both sides with respect to t. Now, if you differentiate here, x square becomes 2x, x becomes dx by dt. This would be equal to, it is a to the power x formula, a to the power sin inverse t into log a to base e into sin inverse t has to be differentiated. It is 1 over root of 1 minus t square. Now, here we want dx by dt, therefore, you can write it as dx by dt can be written as, it is a to the power sin inverse t into log a to base e, whole thing divided by 2x comes to the denominator of the right hand side, root of 1 minus t square. Of course, x will also be there, t will also be there. If you want to eliminate x here, directly you can differentiate, but you have to apply 3 rule. Root of something 1 by 2 root x, a to the power something is a power something into log a to base e, and the index sin inverse t has to be differentiated. Directly also you can do, or you can squaring both the sides. Now, you can avoid that radical sign. So, y square equal to a to the power cos inverse of t, that is on differentiation with respect to t, 2y into dy by dt equal to a to the power cos inverse t into log a to base e into minus 1 over root of 1 minus t square. That is the derivative of cos inverse of t. Therefore, dy by dt is equal to minus a to the power cos inverse of t into log a to base e, whole thing divided by 2y into root of 1 minus t square. Now, this is the derivative of y with respect to t, and this is the derivative of x with respect to t. Now, I want the value of dy by dx, isn't it? So, let me consider dy by dx, that is equal to, now you observe one more thing here. See, after squaring both the sides, this a to the power sin inverse t, how I can write it? X square, which I am having here. Similarly, a to the power cos inverse t can be replaced by y square. First, let me write it as it is, then we will write the exact value. So, it is minus a to the power cos inverse t into log a to base e divided by 2y into root 1 minus t square. Then, I can write dx by dt. It is a to the power sin inverse t into log a to base e divided by 2x into root of 1 minus t square. Now, look here, some terms you can cancel. One is 2, log a and log a, these two terms are cancelled. Let us see what is remaining now, minus a to the power cos inverse of t, now divided by y, isn't it, into, this is here, this x being the denominator of the denominator. So, instead of division, I have written into, x goes to the numerator divided by a to the power sin inverse of t. Or you can, if you write division sign, you can keep it like this. Now, come to this relation. See, what is a power sin inverse t? That is x square. what is a power cos inverse A? It is y square. Let me write the values. Minus y square divided by y into x divided by x square. So, 1y and 1x are cancelled. What is remaining? Another y and another x. Hence, we get the value minus y by x. Now, it is not a regular question in the question paper, but for a higher mark question, you can expect such problems in the examination. Now, these parametric functions, this is one way of explaining the one way of stating the parametric function, I can say. That is, directly they give like this. X equal to something, y is equal to something, find dy by dx. It is a direct definition of the parametric function. But the same parametric function can also be asked in a different way, can also be defined in a different way. See, instead of giving x equal to some function, y is equal to some function, sometimes the problem is asked like this. For example, it is like this. Differentiate sin square x with respect to e to the power cos x. E to the power cos x. This is parametric function only, but not directly asked like this. Like in all the earlier problems of this session and the earlier session, I had given you if x equal to some function, y is equal to some function, find dy by dx. See, the same thing is asked in a different way here. See, finding dy by dx, what do you mean by that one? Y has been differentiated with respect to x. The same thing is given in sentence here. Differentiate y with respect to x, that is the meaning, but already x is there. So, what we have to do is, there x and y are given to you directly, here we have to make some assumption. Now, take the first function. You can take any, you can use any alphabet, y or z, something like that. Let the u be equal to sin square x, because we are differentiating this with respect to that. So, u equal to sin square x, and then let v be equal to e to the power cos x. This one step extra you have to write when it is given in the form of a statement. Okay, that is, if directly given x and y to be expressed as some functions of t or theta, directly you differentiate and get the value dy by dx. If it is given as a sentence here, take the first one as u, the second one as v. Now, let u be equal to sin square x and v be equal to e power cos x. What has to be calculated? To find du by dv. Write this first. It will not be given directly, you have to write it. So, here x is the parameter, because you observe both u and v have been expressed in terms of x. So, x becomes the parameter or the third variable. So, we have to calculate du by dv. For that, now differentiate both u and v with respect to x. What is the derivative? If you calculate du by dx here, sin square x, it is a composite function, becomes 2 sin x, isn't it? I have told you repeatedly, the power should be given the first preference, first you have to consider. So, x square becomes 2x, sin square x becomes 2 sin x, but sin x is itself is a function of x, you have to find the derivative, which is cos x. Similarly, here dv by dx, again this is also a composite function. E power x means simple, e power cos x. So, e power anything is after differentiation that remains the same. So, e to the power cos x into, for cos x it is minus sin x. So, we have differentiated both u and v, of course, which were not given to us in the problem in that particular form. It was given in the form of a statement or a sentence. So, we have assumed the two functions to be u and v, and to find du by dv, it is like this: du by dx divided by dv by dx. Be careful in which position you are writing the value. So du by dx, the first one, it is 2 times sin x into cos x divided by dv by dx minus e to the power cos x into sin x. Of course, you cannot do any simplification here, but for cancelling cos sin x. So, what is remaining now? In the numerator, it is 2 into cos x, in the denominator minus e to the power cos x. Now, this is the derivative of u with respect to x, or you can say it is the derivative of sin square x with respect to e power cos x. So, sometimes the problem would be asked in this particular way, that is differentiate one function with respect to the other function. So, take the first function as u, the second function as v. Then try to find du by dv. Generally, the third variable or the parameter will be x in this case. I will take up one more problem and then conclude the session. Differentiate e power x with respect to log x. So, I am taking u to be e power x, v to be log x. Okay. Now, differentiate, x is a parameter here. So, of course, in this case I have taken both of them to be simple functions. Now, so directly you can use the basic formula. When you differentiate, du by dx is e to the power x, it remains the same, and dv by dx equal to log x, whose derivative is 1 by x. Now, let us go to the formula. Du by dv equal to du by dx divided by dv by dx. What is du by dx? It is e to the power x. Write a bigger line here. dv by dx is 1 by x. Now, this x being the denominator of the denominator goes to the numerator. So, we get a simple answer, x into e to the power x. So, you have to be careful whenever you come across the problem in the form of a sentence or a statement. Take the first function to be u, second function to be v. Of course, it is your choice, you can take any alphabet, preferably this one, so that you will not have any confusion. Then our aim would be to get the value of du by dv, because we are differentiating the first function with respect to the second function. So, here the parameter would be usually x, the third variable. So, differentiate both u and v with respect to x, then divide du by dx by dv by dx. So, after simplification, whatever answer you get, that would be the derivative of first function with respect to the second function. So, this is the procedure we adopt to get the derivative of a parametric function, though it is not given in the standard form, if it is given in the form of a statement or a sentence. So, this completes the parametric function, the derivative of the parametric function. In the coming sessions, I am taking up the second derivative, that is I will explain that in the coming session, how to find the second derivative. That is, once you know how to differentiate for the second time, if it is possible to differentiate. So, let us meet in the next session. Thank you.